When I was 17, I failed the driver permit test twice.
Carmelo Anthony was just 19 when chosen as a first-round pick by the Denver Nuggets in 2003. His superior skills on the court have earned him 2 Olympic medals and 3 All-Star nods, securing him a place as one of NBA's premier and most popular players. Off the court, Carmelo recently tied the knot with longtime girlfriend and former MTV VJ Lala, one of the year's most talked about star-studded weddings.
When I was 17, other people probably would describe me as wild. I could just never be in the house. I'd come home, drop my books off, and shoot right back out. Me and my friends used to always just go downtown, go to the movies, go to the mall. We didn't have no money, but we used to just go down there just to hang out. At 17, you start maturing a little bit. You know, you grow into that stage where you start looking at girls. We go to the skating ring. The skating ring was real big in my neighborhood, well, in Baltimore, period. On Saturdays, that was like our night. So we would save up the whole week just to go skating, and all the pretty girls would be up there.
No, he wasn't like the girl type like he is now.
You just looking for the hottest girl. Like, you want to leave, you want to see if you can leave with the most phone numbers out there.
And for the most part, we didn't have too many like females, so to get a new number was like a big thing.
If you left with the most phone numbers, you was the man. Sometimes I'll leave out of there with 2, 3 phone numbers. So sometimes I was the man.
A few years later, Carmelo was blasting the Blueprint 2.
I remember the album that I used to play day in and day out was the Jay-Z Blueprint 2 album.
You already know what it's hitting for. I got whatever outside and you know what I'm sitting on.
And like my neighbors, like, Melo, come on, man, please switch the album or do something. When I was 17, that was about around the time where I was just starting to fall in love with the game of basketball. I was just learning the game and becoming a good basketball player at that time. My traveling team, the team that I played for, we played a DC team. And the DC team had like the #1 player in the country, the #4 player in the country, the #6 player. Like they had all these top guys in the country. Well, my team was just me and a couple guys from my neighborhood from Baltimore. We didn't have that much recognition like some of the other cities did, so we was always fighting for attention. Nobody expected my team to win. So we get there, the gym is packed, people outside, no parking, everybody in the city is there, college coaches is there. The game was just crazy, the atmosphere was crazy. Every time I did something, people run on the court. They had to stop the game to keep the people off the floor.
You just locked in. Like you hear when players get in the zone, you in the zone.
I ended up scoring, I think it was a little bit more than 40 points. We won the game. After that game, nobody could tell me nothing. Nobody could say anything bad about my city. Baltimore City was back on the map.
From then on, Carmelo Anthony became Carmelo Anthony.
And then from it seemed like my whole career just started.
In 2001, Carmelo was a fan of one of America's favorite funny men.
When I was 17, of course, Martin. Like I always watch Martin. You know, you come home from class, boom, press play, Martin is on. When I was 17, I tried to get my license. So I went and took the test, and like, I'm up early in the morning, like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning before the test. I thought I was about to go play a basketball game. That's how much excitement I had for getting my license. I didn't pass it. Took it again, I didn't pass it.
He could not drive. So I could imagine how many times he had to take that test to get his license.
Yeah, I was mad, but I knew you could take it as many times as you want. So the third time I borrowed this chick car, and she had like a little 4-door Kia. Well, I mean, I was 6'7". I pushed the seat all the way back in the Kia. I'm in the back seat. The steering wheel was like in my lap. You know what I mean? So I'm hunched over, I'm driving.
This big 6'7" kid in this little car, man. If he laid straight out, he'd have been longer than the car.
Luckily, I didn't drive nowhere in the car. I was just going around the track. So I didn't really have nobody to laugh at me because the car was too small. The final results was good. I got my license, and I never relied on nobody taking me nowhere. From that point on, I was driving. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I grew up there until I was 9. I moved to Baltimore, and Baltimore was starting to be so bad.
It's, it was drug-ridden, crime-ridden, guns, young kids getting caught up.
So everybody that was around me that cared about me didn't really want me to take that left turn. Just be another statistic in Baltimore. So when I was 17, my coaches always used to talk to me about getting out of Baltimore City. One of their assistant coaches, which to this day is one of my close friends, told me, like, look, man, I want you to go to Oak Hill. It's a great program. Oak Hill Academy, it's a boarding school, and they had the #1 basketball program in the country. I didn't want to go because I didn't want to leave my friend. I wasn't ready to live on my own. We drove down there, and it was just nothing but trees, nothing but mountains and hills and cows. Like, I never saw anything like that before. I hated being down there. So I used to call my mother. I used to just call home and just be like, look, I'm coming home. Come get me. She was like, listen, this could be the biggest decision that you make in your life.
As much as he missed being home, it was, Carmelo, we got to do what's best for you in your future.
Then after a while, she stopped answering. But after the first month, we started practicing, and from that point, it became easier from there. Your parents know what's best for you. That's one thing I learned.